Mandy Rose has some secret footage revealed that will ruin her relationship with Otis. Let's take a look back at Mandy and Otis's story so far and get into the latest info. Mandy Rose and Otis have, no doubt, become one of the most popular on-screen couples in WWE. The Mandy Rose and Otis storyline was one of WWE's more thorough storylines and took about 5 to 6 months to complete. Mandy and Otis discussed the possibility of a silly storyline, and the rest was history. Mandy and Otis agreed on Mandy being the one to pitch the story to Vince McMahon, so that's what they did. Mandy went in there, and luckily for them, Mr. McMahon loved it and thought it was a hit. They started going back and forth with ideas, and everything was all set. We saw how the story really shifted over time. It started off as a very minimalistic storyline that barely got any TV time. We saw that Otis really liked Mandy, but was too shy to even talk to her, which sounds like it was an idea from Otis. As we now know, and like we covered in a previous video, Otis was always shy, especially around women like Mandy Rose. Otis is still the same way, and feels like he would be shy around superstars like Trish Stratus, who he used to have a big crush on while growing up. So it sounds like the shy part of Otis's character towards the start of the story did come from how he actually is in real life. But from there, the story continued to quickly pick up pace. Mandy started to like Otis as well, and by February, they were set for a date on Valentine's Day. This was the main shifting point for Mandy and Otis, and this is when it became a deeper storyline. Otis and Mandy's date was sabotaged, which made Otis look like he ditched Mandy Rose. That's when Ziggler came in and stole Mandy Rose away from Otis. This led to a big reveal from the WWE hacker that Sonya Deville was the main mastermind behind keeping Otis and Mandy away from each other. Since that big reveal from the hacker, Mandy Rose and Otis finally got together after 5 months of build-up, and they've been happy ever since. A lot of good has actually come from this storyline. This story was, of course, the first on-screen appearance of the hacker. It made Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville split up, and it finally got Mandy Rose and Otis together, so everything worked out perfectly fine for everyone involved. Sonya is thriving since going solo, and Mandy Rose and Otis couldn't be any more happier now that they have gotten rid of all their issues. But what if it's not what it seems? Mandy Rose and Otis seem to be at their happiest point right now. Literally nothing can break them apart, and they have no issue with each other. But this is WWE. We know all that peace and happiness isn't going to last so long. There's always a twist. There's always something that catches us off guard, and according to a lot of new fan theories, they think that something could be happening between Mandy Rose and Otis in the near future. It seems that Mandy Rose and Otis are still in the honeymoon phase of their relationship. They're always happy with each other, no matter what, and never really had a single dispute with each other. We saw them in segments such as the pool one from a recent edition of Smackdown. Doesn't really look like this segment was meant to be a part of their main storyline. It was just sort of a comedy sort of segment. But I kind of feel like there was some hints in there of some issues that could be coming between Otis and Mandy. An example of this was when she goes to sleep by the poolside, and Otis accidentally splashes water on her, and she just gets up in shock. Sure, it's one small mistake by Otis, and their relationship won't shatter from this mistake alone, but it could also be a sign that Otis's mistakes will start off small, but will quickly turn into bigger mistakes that will actually get Mandy heated. So in that scenario, Otis would be the cause for the problem in the relationship. But what if Mandy is the cause of the problem? We know that the WWE hacker was keeping a close eye on Mandy Rose, Otis, and Sonya Deville in the past. But what if he never stopped watching over them? The first reveal from the hacker was meant to fully expose Sonya Deville for the lies she was telling to Mandy Rose. So what if the hacker came back around and exposed Mandy Rose for not being truthful? Mandy Rose has gone through a full character transformation from being this selfish heel to a caring and understanding babyface that stands by her boyfriend's side. But what if Mandy isn't who she seems to be? What if Mandy never changed and is actually just playing with Otis? A perfect way to execute this story will be with the usage of the WWE hacker. This is a great time to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A large percentage of our viewers are not even subscribed to the channel. So take a second to click that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see. Let's get back into it. The hacker can basically return and show some footage of Mandy Rose just hanging out with another male superstar. But the clip will show that Mandy Rose quickly starts to flirt with a superstar over time, and the video cuts off right away. This will leave Otis and Mandy in a similar situation that Mandy was in with Sonya Deville. Otis would be the heartbroken one, walking away, while Mandy Rose tries to explain the footage. Off the top of my head, two superstars that I think will somewhat fit the part of Mandy's affair is Braun Strowman and Tucker. Otis and Braun Strowman sort of developed a friendship with each other after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Otis needed a tag team partner for the main event, and he approached Braun Strowman about tagging with him. Braun hesitated at first because he was once Mr. Money in the Bank. He knows how this whole thing goes. You try to warm up to the champion, and then cash in on him when he least expects it. So Braun wasn't going to let Otis cash in and make a fool of him. But Otis earned Braun's respect after Otis didn't cash in on him during that night. So Otis and Braun Strowman do have some sort of neutral respect there for each other. But what if Otis finds out that Braun was trying to steal Mandy away from him? This may change Otis's view of Braun, and Otis may feel even more motivated to cash in on Braun and take that title away from him as revenge for the Mandy Rose situation. My only problem with Braun Strowman in this role is that he's supposed to be a babyface champion. So seeing him steal Otis's girlfriend could definitely be seen as a heel turn for him. Unless Braun was legitimately turning Mandy away, but the hacker's video cuts off before we see that. So both the viewers and Otis just see Braun as the bad guy in this situation. But then maybe Braun can show Otis the full footage of him turning Mandy down, and it will make Mandy look like the real villain here. Then the other possibility is Otis's tag team partner, Tucker. I actually have no idea what's going on with Tucker. Maybe it's a storyline absence or something that I missed, but I really couldn't find any real explanation for Tucker's disappearance as of late. Tucker was Otis's best friend and actually played a big role in setting Dolph Ziggler straight and trying to help Otis get with Mandy Rose. But ever since Otis and Mandy actually got together, I'm not sure we've seen Tucker at all. WWE can't break them up out of nowhere with no explanation. So it's safe to assume Tucker will return at some point to address Otis, and we'll see where their relationship is at by then. Otis and Tucker's relationship has jealous best friend written all over it. We've seen this story so many times before. But basically it's when one tag team partner starts getting a lot of attention and success, while everyone forgets that the other partner even exists, and that's exactly what the Otis and Tucker situation is right now. Otis has become this household name and a big star in WWE, and having Mandy Rose by his side and being the Money in the Bank contract holder, while Tucker literally has nothing and hasn't been seen in weeks. So what if instead of a traditional heel turn attack on Otis, Tucker tries another way to sabotage Otis's career? That's to take Mandy Rose away from him. Maybe that could be the reason why Tucker has been lying low in recent weeks. And when it's revealed by the hacker, both Tucker and Mandy will have a lot of explaining to do. Something has to happen with Tucker. If Otis is gonna go off on this big solo run, then WWE will have to address the tag team's relationship at one point. Same thing goes for Mandy and Otis. Sure, they can have a nice and peaceful time together, but something has to come up to push their storyline even further. What are your thoughts on the theory of Mandy Rose being busted with some secret footage revealed by the hacker? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.